The US being in NATO is great for our economy. There's a lot of propaganda about the US needing to leave the alliance, but we make so much money from it and it affects the average worker in a good way. The US gets $200 to $400 billion every year of foreign direct investment from its NATO allies, and a good chunk of that goes into manufacturing. Last year in 2023, 41.2% of that $227 billion we got from our allies, totaling over $85 billion, went to American manufacturing. Japan is our largest investor, followed by Canada and then Germany, United Kingdom, and believe it or not, the Netherlands. You might be thinking, Japan's not in NATO. No, but they are a NATO global partner, so it's the next best thing. Here's the crazy thing. Europe has put $3.4 trillion of total foreign direct investment into this country. Almost $1 trillion came from Asia and the Pacific, but that's mainly Japan. We get a little bit of foreign direct investment from China, but we've curtailed a lot of it because we don't agree with a lot of their practices. And if you're worried about countries owning too much US land, look at this chart. Just over 3% of all US agricultural land is owned by foreigners, and the largest holder of it is Canada. China doesn't even make it on the pie chart. China has about 300,000 acres and Canada holds about 12 million. The US being in this alliance means it gets to roam much more freely as it protects the entire world's maritime trade. And I know you're immediately going to say, well, what about the Houthis in the Red Sea? The reason why the Red Sea trade hasn't been entirely shut down is because of the patrolling of the US Navy and its allies. Then there's the fact that the US being the leader of the most powerful alliance that the world has ever known does give a lot of trade advantages, so they can dictate a lot of terms of exchange. But the most important benefit provided to the average American by the US's leadership in NATO is the fact that there hasn't been a world war in 79 years. There have been little skirmishes, but there have not been worldwide conflicts. World War II at the time cost America $330 billion in 6 years. In today's dollars, that is $5.78 trillion, or $18,000 per American. The average guy doesn't notice any of these benefits because they were born into it. They don't know what the world was like before NATO existed. If you read about America and the world's history before World War II, you'll see that major wars happened every 10 to 20 years. There were frequent shortages of staple resources due to the lack of protection of maritime trade. Yes, I know the British Empire patrolled the world seas and they did a decent job, but nowhere near the scale of the Americans. But either way, the formation of NATO has brought out the most peaceful and prosperous era in human history. If you don't believe me, please feel free to read what life was like in the 30s or even the 20s or even before World War I. I am the Geo Hussar, and tell me what else you'd like to know. Thanks for watching.